This is YSM Sports Media. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button for all future content. Show your boys some love, man. I'm out here working hard. As if boxing's reputation couldn't get any worse, this new franchise champion ruling is an absolute shit show. In my many years of watching boxing, I have never seen anything so fucking ridiculous in my life. You know, normally I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I kind of like stay neutral in these type of situations where you just see how it just plays out. This is going to be one of those exceptions. Now, I was critical of the franchise champion in its inception when Canelo Alvarez was elevated to it. From what I can gather, it's just a way of having a more established fighter duck their mandatories. And when I say duck, it doesn't mean that that particular fighter is scared of the mandatory. It just means that they don't have to deal with the responsibility of having to fight the mandatory. And that's not even the ridiculous part. The part that I can't wrap my head around is that the title is non-transferable. So even if that fighter loses, he will forever be the franchise champion. So along with that, you can unify the division while being the franchise champion. So Vasyl Lomanchenko can go into a bout with Richard Comey and unify the division and become undisputed, even though Devin Haney has the WBC regular belt. The only problem with that is Richard Comey cannot become the undisputed champion by beating Vasyl Lomanchenko. So it just makes, it just makes boxing in itself that much more confusing. And so going forward, you're going to have a bunch of elite fighters that's going to have get out of jail free cards and a bunch of hotshot prospects that are just going to be gifted titles. This is the precedent that's being set. No longer is it going to be the case of us watching a young talented prospect win his first title and you hear those words in the new. No, those days are over. So now we're going to have a whole bunch of bread and water legacies and a bunch of what if fights. So next you have the Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder situation. Now, I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. But if Dillian Whyte gets cleared by UCAD and Deontay Wilder gets elevated and never fights him, it's a duck. Canelo Alvarez, Charlo, duck. Lomachenko, Devin Haney, duck. Now, understand the business aspect. Risk versus reward, and these fighters are trying to get paid. But at the same time, a fighter is supposed to fight. Now, Vasyl Lomanchenko was already a unified champion in the division. He was granted a title shot for the WBC's vacant 135-pound belt, and he fought Luke Campbell for it. He won, but he was elevated to franchise champion without even defending the belt once. Now, the ruling's already ridiculous, but this just even makes it worse. He hasn't defended the belt. He just won it 2 months ago. And I see a lot of guys that want to absolve Lomachenko and want to just blame the WBC. Top Rank requested that he be elevated, and Lomachenko had to agree. Now, whether he's happy with Top Rank requesting it, that makes me know never mind. He had to sign off on it. And so he needs to be held accountable along with everybody else. Simple as that. We can't just pick and choose, because we like a fighter, we're going to criticize him. No, everybody needs to be held accountable. For months, Bob Arum has been saying that Devin Haney wasn't going to get a title shot. He said that he signed with the wrong promoter. Now, this was the same Bob Arum that's been criticizing Al Heyman for the so-called side of the street. But he's doing the same thing to Devin Haney and Eddie Hearn. So, which one is it? Is there a side of the street or isn't it? Or maybe when it's convenient for you, Bob. But I can honestly say I'm putting majority of this on the WBC. They are actively ruining boxing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with the WBC or do you agree with me? YSM Sports Media, we out.